It's no doubt that the Insta 360 has become probably my favorite camera to film with when I'm not doing stuff just like this, just kind of messing around. But the problem I've had with it so far is the audio. The audio has just been it's just pretty bad with it, especially on a day like today when it's super windy. You just can't even use it for audio, so it becomes kind of like a B-roll camera only. And hopefully we're going to take a step into fixing that today. So what I have is I bought the little audio adapter for it and the cage. So I stuck my audio adapter in, put the cage in, and then put my Rode Wireless Go version 2 stuck it on the side there. Hopefully the audio will be vastly improved over just the regular standard microphone. I mean, it's obviously hopefully going to be better than that, but hopefully it'll be something worth using, because the way the old microphone is, it's just pretty much unusable for a camera like this, if you ask me, if you want any kind of audio with it. Just out hitting some golf balls this evening. See what it sounds like when I get back. Hopefully it'll look pretty good, or sound pretty good rather. Another one of these things I got to take into consideration is the way this thing's set up. The Rode Wireless Go receiver is stuck on the cage there, and it's going to be sticking outside of the stitch line. So I'm just wondering to myself how much I'll be able to film in this instance, the right side of the camera. How far will I be able to get away until the microphone's in the stitch line? It'll definitely come into play at some point. Just in case you wanted to know what it looks like, this is the Insta 360 1X2, and I have it in the small rig cage and the audio adapter and my Wireless Go 2 right below it. So that's what it looks like. That's what the setup looks like. Okay, so a lot has happened since I started filming this video when I was out golfing. I got about halfway through that video, and all of a sudden the audio started just being really, really bad. And I don't know if maybe my audio jack came out, my mic jack came out, or the audio adapter came loose a little bit, or maybe just the wind, because it was extremely windy that day, kind of overtook the Rode Wireless Go's ability to filter out the wind. I don't know which it was, but the audio just got so bad that I just couldn't use that video at all, the rest of that video at all. So what happened during the meantime? Well, a lot of things have happened since then. I mean, obviously I have a big old deal on my ear here, and I want to make a whole other separate video about that sometime later. But I had a little bit of a health issue That's why I had the ear thing on, so it kind of shut down all the work that I was doing on my videos. Everything kind of came to a halt. I'm getting this taken care of, and I want to kind of finish up the video in the Insta 361X2, which I think is just a great camera. Maybe one of the downsides of this particular camera is how you have to edit the video. I haven't used the desktop version of the editing app, but apparently it's not as good as the mobile, and so I've just used the mobile so far. So what you do is you have to edit all the video on your phone, and then once you get it the way you want it, then you can export it to your phone, to your phone's camera roll, and then like AirDrop that to your computer. If you're using all Apple stuff, it's pretty easy, but it does become just a little bit of an extra step in the process of making videos. So it's a little bit of a longer process than just going through and editing a video straight off a memory card, which is what I've done previously. Like I say, the app, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, it goes fairly quickly. And you can get some footage from this particular camera that there's no way possible that you can get from other cameras, which is what makes this camera so fun to use. I'm not gonna lie to you though, this camera has its own little list of little quirks and things you have to get used to. Like sometimes it just says, you know what, I'm not recording. Or sometimes it says, you know what, I'm not turning off, and you're gonna lose everything you just recorded. So it does have its own little list of quirks and stuff that you need to be aware of before you start using this camera. But otherwise, it's been pretty good. Just a few things in firmware that need to be corrected before you can trust it completely. But it pretty much works for the most part. So the question is, could this be your only vlogging camera? And I just don't think it could, at least it couldn't be for me, because the process of having to edit all the videos in your app and then upload them to your phone and shoot them over to your computer, that's too much of a process. But I will say that it's good for getting footage that you ordinarily couldn't get with just a normal camera. And it gives you some really cool different perspectives that you can't get with any other camera. And it makes it super easy to get really cool footage. But I would just suggest using it in small clips. That's the best way to do it. Small little clips, like, and then it's easier to edit, easier to manage, and easier to, the workflow is just easier. But for an overall total vlogging camera, I don't think it would work. It would just add too much extra work to your workflow. I will say though, if they ever got to the point where you could just download it straight into your editing software, like Final Cut Pro or Adobe or whatever software you use, if you could just download the footage straight into that, edit it straight from there, this could very easily be your only video camera. If you just want to use it for vlogs and stuff, it's not too serious. Anyway, that's just a brief look at the Insta 361X2. And like I say, it's quickly becoming one of my favorite cameras to use when I just want a cool and interesting shot to add to my videos. And it's really no limit to what you can do with it, only by your imagination. There's been lots of times that I've forgotten to use the camera or forgotten about it and then got to reviewing my footage later from my normal cameras and was like, man, I wish I'd used the Insta 360 1X2 to catch a different vantage point, or it would have been so much better had I used the 360 camera instead of just my regular camera. So as I've used it more and more, I've started trying to use it in more interesting ways, more creative ways, and that's one of the cool things about this camera, is there really is no limits to what you can do with it, except for the audio. Audio is not very good. You have to use a microphone adapter for that. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Next video, I think we're going to be talking about the old giant Band-Aid and what's going on there. A little bit of a cautionary tale there for everybody out there. But I'll get into that next time. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Catch you on the next one.